Hook. The sound of laughter can sometimes be worse than words. It can feel like knives you can't see, sharp, fast, and cutting deep. For months, Lena Thompson sat in the back of her classroom, hoping no one would notice her. But they did. They noticed her glasses. They noticed her silence. They noticed her in all the wrong ways. They thought she was weak. They thought she was just 4 eyes. But the night Lena finally took off those glasses, the world learned the truth. Chapter 1: Invisible, but not forgotten. Lena had always been the quiet one. Ever since she started at Cedar Hills High School, she'd learned to survive by keeping her head down. It wasn't that she didn't want friends, she just didn't know how to make them anymore. In middle school, she had been a little different. She still had her glasses, but back then, they were just something she wore. People didn't notice much. Then, one summer, she hit a growth spurt, got braces, and her prescription got stronger. The new lenses were thick. So thick, in fact, that when she wore them, they made her eyes look smaller, almost sunken. And that was when the whispers began. Wow, those things are huge. Can she even see without them? At first, Lena laughed it off. But as the comments turned into nicknames, and the nicknames turned into cruel games, the laughter stopped. By the time she entered high school, Lena had mastered invisibility. Chapter 2: Queens of the Hallway. Every school has them girls who seem to own the hallways, who walk with a confidence that can intimidate even the teachers. At Cedar Hills, that was Tara Reid, Megan Lopez, and Claire Bryant. They had perfect hair, perfect clothes, and a way of making anyone outside their circle feel like they didn't belong. And for reasons Lena couldn't understand, she became their favorite target. The first time it happened, Lena was in the cafeteria, balancing her lunch tray, when Tara's voice rang out. Careful, 4 eyes. You might not see where you're going. The table nearby laughed, and Lena felt her face burn. She kept walking. From then on, they never missed an opportunity. If they passed her in the hallway, Tara might say, "Oh, there she is, the telescope girl." If she was reading in the library, Megan might whisper loudly, "Wonder if she's reading about fashion." Clearly, she needs to. And then came the glasses snatching game. Chapter 3: The Cruel Game. It usually happened in the cafeteria or the hallway between classes. One of the girls would sneak up behind Lena, swipe her glasses, and toss them to another. Lena would fumble forward, trying to follow the blurry shapes, her heart racing. Without her glasses, she couldn't tell who was holding them, and every second felt like a lifetime. One day, it happened while she was carrying her science project, a delicate model of the solar system. Megan swiped the glasses, Tara laughed, and Claire tossed them over Lena's head. Disoriented, Lena tripped, the project crashing to the floor, foam planets rolling in every direction. The laughter that followed echoed in her ears all day. Chapter 4: A Home She Hid In. Home was Lena's refuge. Her mother, Grace Thompson, was a nurse who worked long shifts, but she always made time for Lena in the evenings. Grace had raised Lena alone since her father left when she was 7. She tried her best to encourage her daughter, but she also knew Lena was holding something inside, something heavy. One night, after the solar system incident, Lena sat in her room, glasses on the nightstand, tears pooling in her eyes. Her mom knocked softly. "You okay, sweetheart?" Lena shrugged. "Just tired." Grace sat beside her. "I know you've been having a hard time. You don't talk about it, but I can see it." That's when she handed Lena a small black box. Inside was a necklace with a silver music note pendant. "This was your grandmother's," Grace said. "She used to sing at every community event. She said music can heal more than medicine ever could." Lena traced the pendant with her finger. "I can't sing in front of people, Mom. They'd laugh." Grace smiled sadly. "They only laugh because they don't know the real you." Chapter 5: The Sign-Up She Almost Didn't Do. The next morning, Lena saw a bright poster in the hallway, "Cedar Hills Talent Show, this Friday." She walked past it twice before stopping. Her heart pounded as she thought about the necklace sitting in her room. On impulse, she grabbed the pen and wrote her name. She didn't even tell her mom. That night, she stood in front of her mirror, whisper singing her chosen song. At first, her voice shook, but as the days passed, she grew stronger. Chapter 6: The Final Straw. 2 days before the show, Lena was in the library studying when Megan spotted her. "So, rumor is you're in the talent show," Megan said, leaning over her table. "That's adorable," Tara added, smirking. Before Lena could respond, Claire snatched her glasses right off her face. The blurry outlines of the three girls shifted and swayed. "Without these, you'll be singing to the wrong side of the stage," Tara laughed. Something inside Lena shifted. Her hands curled into fists. "You'll see," she said quietly, taking her glasses back. For the first time, the bullies didn't laugh. They just stared. Chapter 7: Showtime. The auditorium buzzed with excitement. Backstage, Lena could hear the crowd cheering for each act. She stood in her corner, hands cold, stomach twisted. Her turn was next. The stage manager whispered, "You're up in 30 seconds." Lena thought about every insult, every laugh, every moment she'd felt invisible. She touched the music note necklace around her neck. The announcer's voice rang out. "Please welcome Lena Thompson." Chapter 8: The Moment. She stepped into the spotlight. The crowd was a blur, but that was the point. She reached up and removed her glasses, placing them carefully on the stool beside her. She gripped the microphone, closed her eyes, and began to sing. Her voice started soft, almost trembling, but quickly grew into something powerful, clear, emotional, full of longing and hope. By the second verse, the audience was silent. Even the bullies sat frozen, their eyes wide. When she hit the final note, the room erupted into applause. People were on their feet. Chapter 9: A Different Monday. The next school day felt different. As Lena walked down the hall, people smiled at her. Some even stopped to say, "You were amazing." Her mom had been in the front row, tears in her eyes. She had whispered afterward, "Your grandmother would be so proud." Even Tara avoided making eye contact. By lunch, Lena realized something: she didn't feel invisible anymore. Chapter 10: Kindness Wins. Weeks later, Claire quietly approached her in the library. "Hey," she mumbled. "You were really good. I didn't know you could sing like that." It wasn't an apology, but it was a start. Lena smiled. "Thanks." And for the first time, she meant it. She learned something that night on stage: sometimes, the best way to fight cruelty isn't with anger. It's by showing the world exactly who you are. Ending message to viewers. If you've ever been laughed at for something that makes you different, remember Lena's story. Your difference could be the very thing that inspires others. Speech balloon comment below: "I will never let anyone dim my light." If this story moved you, thumbs up like to spread the message of kindness. Bell subscribe to be kind always for more powerful stories that remind us the world is better when we lift each other up.